Hey, welcome back. This is Kari Moody. Um, since we are getting ready to begin the Adam Montgomery trial, I have put together this very detailed video, and it starts with basically the birth of Harmony and goes all the way up through today's jury selection and the very crazy kind of almost twist of events that happened at the last minute in court early this afternoon. So I will do my best with this. I am really brand new at StreamYard, so cut me a little slack if you don't mind. But let's get started. Give me just a moment and let me share my screen real quick. All right, so we are going way back to the beginning. August of 2012. That is when Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery began a relationship. January 24th of 2014, Adam was involved in an incident that resulted in him shooting a man in the head. And then on March 5th of 2014, Adam was formally charged with armed assault to murder after investigators say that he shot a man in the head during a drug deal. June 2014, this sweet little beautiful girl you see on your screen, Harmony Montgomery, was born. Crystal Sorey is her sole caretaker. That is her biological mother. And her father, Adam Montgomery, is in prison for that previous charge there. August 2014 through January of 2018. So, what, 3.5 years? Harmony is removed from her mother's care 3 times because of neglect, related to drug use. And according to a Massachusetts report, Harmony visits her father in prison twice, once in January and then again in July of 2015. September of 2015, Adam gets officially released from prison and he moves to New Hampshire. September of 2016, 1 year after Adam's release, Adam contacts the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families for the very first time to resume his visits with Harmony. February of 2017, after visiting with Harmony once a month for about 5 months or so, Adam stops responding to DCF requests for further meetings. August of 2018, Adam meets with Harmony for the first time in 11 months and the 9th time in her entire life. He had contacted DCF in September of 2017 after a 7-month period with no contact. July of 2018, Crystal Sorey, the mother of Harmony Montgomery, loses full custody of her daughter in Massachusetts. Sorey would later tell police that she lost custody because of drug addiction issues and that Harmony was placed in a foster home in Haverhill. December 19th, 2018, the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families requests a home study by the New Hampshire Division of Children, Youth, and Families at the Montgomery's home in Manchester. The request did not include the necessary information to initiate a home study. Think about that. February 2019, Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, is granted legal custody of his daughter by a family court judge in Lawrence, Massachusetts. DCYF officials are notified of the custody decision before it receives the additional information that it had requested for the home study. Kayla Montgomery then goes on to add Harmony to her DHS account. So basically her food stamps and things like that. April 22nd of 2019, Crystal Sorey sees Harmony for the last time via FaceTime around Easter. She says that Adam was visible in the background of the video call, and Crystal recalls that Harmony seemed frightened. In June of 2019, Jameson, Harmony's little half-brother from her mom's side, is placed with an unrelated pre-adoptive family. June of 2019 still, Kendra, Harmony's great aunt, claims to have a last visit with Harmony. After this, Adam refused to communicate with the family, and she noticed him selling personal items on Facebook. Now, it didn't say if it was Adam's personal items or if it was Harmony's. July of 2019, Kevin Montgomery, Uncle Kevin as we'll come to know him, claims to see Harmony with a black eye and calls DCYF. He says Harmony had a black eye when he visited her Guilford Street home in Manchester the week prior. A child protective service worker visits the home and emails the Manchester police to say that no eye injury was observed. August of 2019, the Guilford Street home that they were living in, which is pictured here, sold at a public foreclosure auction. Now, Adam, Kayla, Harmony, plus 3 other kids remain squatting in the home. Adam's brother, Michael, claimed on Facebook that the only electricity was from a generator and there was no central heat, and that their family in Florida have contacted the police and DCYF for welfare checks. August 7th of 2019, a child protective service worker visits a home again and interviews Harmony and Adam and Kayla Montgomery. The worker notes a red mark in Harmony's eye and faded bruising under her eyelid. Adam Montgomery says the mark was caused when she was struck by a toy while playing with a sibling. The caseworker also speaks to Crystal Sorey, the bio mom, who tells the agency that she lost custody of Harmony to Adam Montgomery. August 16, 2019, the Millers meet Crystal and they offer to adopt Harmony if the opportunity or need arises. Now, the Millers are a couple that did adopt Jameson, and they really tried hard to also be able to adopt Harmony. Unfortunately, that day never came. August 21st of 2019, police receive more calls and complaints about squatters at the 77 Guilford Street home. There's a generator running and trash all over the place. They are unsure of how many people are living there. There's numerous calls about this, and Adam's Uncle Kevin says he's also been calling in and checking on conditions there. September 9th of 2019, police get more calls to 77 Guilford Street home. This time, caller says that she's really concerned that a dog at the address is getting abused. She said she hears yelling and the dog is yelping, and then more yelling, and then the dog gets put outside. September 18th, 2019, police get yet another call about loud music, this time around 3 a.m. And Adam and Kayla are obviously, they're talking, must be pretty loud. The caller said that the next morning there appeared to be no movement in the house and the car appears to have been broken into. She says they've been dealing with this address for months now. Their neighbors were getting just a little frustrated with them. On October 2019, Kevin Montgomery, again, Uncle Kevin, calls police to obtain an escort in order for him and his mother to go into the 77 Guilford Street home in order to pick up some of her things and check on the children. He felt like they needed a police escort because he didn't want any confrontation. Now, Kevin says he saw Harmony briefly and that she looked very timid. October 1st of 2019, the final visit from a child protective service worker to the Guilford Street home. The worker reports the children appeared happy and healthy. The assessment concludes that the report of abuse was unfounded, but the family was at high risk for future child welfare concerns. Well, you don't say, do you? It's really unbelievable how horribly all of these kids, really, but mostly Harmony, really fell through the cracks. And it really feels like, people that are there to protect these families and these children just really did not do their job. November of 2019, the Millers adopt Harmony's half-brother, Jameson. Brian and his partners say that they both have a close relationship with Crystal. He said it was an open adoption, and they heard that Harmony and Jameson were very close when they were in foster care together. And even though they had never met her, that they tried to adopt Harmony as well. But they were told by DCYF that Harmony had been reunited with her father. Blair tried to get in contact with Harmony so that, her and her brother could still have a relationship, but it was to no avail. And this is a tweet that Blair Miller had sent on January 2nd, 2022, as this case was going. And he is a newscaster. November of 2019, Kayla Montgomery is 7 months pregnant at the time with, we're going to call the child DM. And that child is a biological child of Adam Montgomery as well. And this timing is based off of, excuse me, the birth date and average gestational periods. Now, November or December 2019, we don't really know. According to Kayla Montgomery, Adam told her around this time that he was taking Harmony to Lowell, Massachusetts, where her mother lives. Kayla later tells police this is the last time that she saw Harmony. When looking to learn more about Harmony Montgomery's disappearance, police later narrowed that time frame to November 28th to December 10th of 2019. They later revealed that they believe Harmony was killed in early December of 2019. So possibly Thanksgiving-ish to December 6th of 2019, Christina Lubin. Now, she is Kayla's mother. Kayla is Adam's wife. She states in an interview that she believes something could have happened during this time, that she saw Harmony on the day after Thanksgiving, and that on December 6th, Kayla, Adam, and her 3 kids were homeless, and they had asked to live at her home, but she said she didn't have room. Harmony was not part of that conversation. Christina appears to kind of fumble her words and change what she says. January 8th of 2020, a referral is received by DCYF about the Montgomery household. Adam tells a child protective service worker that Harmony is living with her mother in Massachusetts and had been since Thanksgiving of 2019. Now, January 20th of 2020, another biological child of Kayla and Adams is born. January 21st of 2020, the child protective service worker leaves a voicemail for Crystal, the bio mom, to confirm Harmony's address. Officials say that Crystal did not return their call. February 2020, Kayla becomes pregnant yet again with another child of Adams. And then possibly November 2020-ish, Adam and Kelsey Small begin dating. She said in the interview with police on December 31st, 2021, that they had been dating over a year. And in this, it just says that the patrol officers were able to make contact with Adam and his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, while they were together sleeping in a vehicle in Manchester. Small claimed that she has been romantically involved with Adam for over a year. She said that she is aware that Adam has 3 children from one mother and another child from before that. However, Small said that Adam was not in touch with any child from his prior relationship. She claimed that Adam has never talked about Harmony, and she has no information on where she may be. And then during that roadside interview with Adam, he made some contradictory statements during the interaction, which raised suspicion and concern for Harmony's well-being. November 4th of 2020, another bio child of Adam and Kayla's is born. In January of 2021, Kayla goes to a redetermination hearing for their household for their benefits, mainly food stamps. The caseworker noted there was confusion regarding Harmony, as Kayla had previously claimed that Harmony went to her mother's house every weekend. March of 2021, Kayla and her 3 kids move in with her mother, Christina Lubin. June 2nd of 2021, Harmony is removed from Kayla's DHS benefits. Kayla told her case manager that Harmony moved back with her mother. And at that point, Kayla had already received 19 months of benefits during a time that Harmony is unaccounted for. It equated to about $2,451. Anything greater than $1,500 in that state is a felony. We're at July 2021. Kayla and her 3 kids begin living in a shelter. July 2nd, 2021. Kayla's mother, Christina, files a restraining order against Adam. She said the complaint says that the wife, Kayla, was living with her mother at the time due to alleged violence from Adam. Adam apparently came to the home and tapped on the window with a knife. Hard to believe, isn't it? So odd. Red flags everywhere. July 2nd, 2021. This just goes on with the complaint. There was a witness to it. When she looked out the living room window, she was able to see Adam passing back and forth across the street of her home. And a couple days later, I guess it was, a neighbor had walked in front of the house to retrieve mail, and he found a steak knife that was on the ground where Adam was tapping on the window a couple days prior. And at that point, Kayla and her 3 children were temporarily in her mother's home due to domestic violence on her from her husband, Adam Montgomery. Now, that's according to her mother in this restraining order. On July 21st of 2021, Crystal tells the Millers, the people that adopted little Jameson, that she's finally located Adam, but he blocked her from social media immediately. September 2021, a person close to the mother, Crystal Sorey, contacts DCYF and raises concerns that Sorey hasn't seen Harmony since 2019. DCYF confirms Harmony has never been registered for school in Manchester, and they attempt to locate the Montgomery family. October 2021, Kayla claims to have not physically seen Adam since late October. She has not says that she has not spoken to him since mid-November of 21. Kayla claimed Adam was living in a sober house and then had left the area to live in Maine with another female. And I did find a person actually that was with Adam while he was in rehab, but this person said he was only there a couple of weeks and then he left. November 18th of 21, Manchester PD receives a call from Crystal regarding Harmony. Crystal reported that Harmony, who is in the physical custody of her ex, Adam, was missing and that she hadn't seen Harmony in over 6 months. An employee of the police department contacted DCYF and learned of previous addresses associated with Adam. The addresses were checked, but they were unable to locate Adam or Harmony. Manchester police, now note this, Manchester police say that their phone records indicate this is the only call that the department has received from Crystal Sorey. That's what the Manchester Police Department alleges. Not me, that's them. They say they only received the one phone call. December 27th of 21, DCYF notified the Manchester Police Department that they were unable to locate Harmony. That made the police department initiate an investigation into it. They spoke with various family members and they were unable to make any kind of contact with Adam. This is when they learned that Harmony had not been seen since October, November of 2019, 2 years earlier. December 29th of 21, Crystal, the biological mother, sends an email to the Manchester mayor, of all people. She said, "My daughter is missing and DCYF won't help." And then these are the emails. This is the one from Crystal to the mayor. She says, "Hello, Mayor. I am a single mother of 3. I currently only have 2 of my kids. My oldest daughter, Harmony, she's 7 years old. Her father, Adam Montgomery, has physical custody of her, and he is currently homeless and under the influence. DCYF has had an open case for my daughter and didn't remove her when they witnessed her bruises, and the house at the time had no running water. Now it's a year later, and DCYF has done nothing to help me find her. She's supposed to be in 1st grade. He never enrolled her into school this whole time. She missed important doctor's appointments that she's had since a baby due to her disability in her eye." She says, "Please, I'm begging for help in finding my daughter before she ends up like that little boy that just passed away due to neglect through the department. My next step is going to the media. to get whatever help I need to find her and bring her home safe. My phone number is blacked out. Please help. Thanks for your time and happy holidays. Now, they did respond to her. It's actually the community engagement manager that responded, not the mayor. But he says, thank you for reaching out. Or she. Thank you for reaching out. I'm so sorry to hear about the situation. Unfortunately, the city doesn't have jurisdiction over DCYF or the court system. I encourage you to reach out to New Hampshire legal assistance, see if they would be able to review your case and provide legal assistance on the custody issue. And then she gives the phone number. If you know that your child is in immediate danger of physical harm and you believe this is an emergency situation, please do not hesitate to dial 911. She goes on to say you may also call police at the non-emergency line to request a welfare check or to attempt to file a missing person report. If you've already attempted to do these things but have not yet heard back, then please let me know and I will check on the status of the case for you. I genuinely wish you the best of luck. December 30th of 2021. Detective Abel spoke with Adam's uncle, Kevin, regarding concerns for Harmony. Kevin said that he had not seen Adam or Harmony since late 2019. However, Kevin had firsthand knowledge of the child's eye injury from 2019. He said that he observed Harmony with a black eye. Kevin had notified DCYF after the fact with concern for the injury. He says that Adam told him, quote unquote, he bashed her around the house. December 31st of 21, Detective Dunleavy spoke with Kayla Montgomery. Kayla said that she last saw Harmony in November or December of 2019. And she says that she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said that he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, who was living in Lowell, Massachusetts at the time. Kayla claimed that she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Like, she didn't ask. Oh, I mean, most wives, I it's gonna be hard to keep my tongue as it should be during this trial. Kayla claimed that she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Kayla also admitted that she had seen Harmony with a black eye in the past. However, she claimed that Adam told her one of the other kids did it with a toy. On December 31st, 2021, Manchester police asked for the public's help in locating missing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery. Police received a report this week that Harmony had not been seen since late 2019. The circumstances surrounding this prolonged absence are very concerning and are being thoroughly investigated. And then this is, they had posted to Facebook, and then this is the first official missing poster for sweet little Harmony. Then on that same day, Manchester police held their first press conference regarding Harmony. They say she was last seen in late 2019. They became aware that she was missing, quote unquote, early this week. We have spoken with family members of Harmony, and despite doing so, our concerns with her whereabouts remain the same. It did not meet the threshold for an Amber Alert since they didn't know who she was with or what vehicle she was in. And let's take a watch of that for just a few minutes.
Right now, Manchester police are desperate for any information to lead them to a missing 7-year-old girl. Harmony Montgomery was last seen at a residence in the city in October of 2019. But police say she wasn't reported missing to them until this week.
We cannot investigate things if they're not brought to our attention. And when this was brought, we're on it.
Investigators aren't commenting on Harmony's parents or how they found out she was missing, only saying they have spoken to her family members.
So what's happened in the last 2 years? Fair question, right? That's why I'm here today, because we need assistance, we need help.
These pictures of Harmony were taken when she was about 5 years old. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and is blind in her right eye, so she could be wearing glasses. Police say she may have been going to school in Massachusetts when she was last seen.
We're on the holidays, and no time is a good time for a child to go missing. But I'm imploring, I'm asking, even I'll go as far as I'm begging the community. All right, I don't care if you saw this young girl a year ago and you think it's irrelevant. Call us.
Manchester's police chief saying he's using every available resource to find Harmony as soon as possible.
I have detectives working on this that all have children of their own. I do not doubt their level of commitment, and we're going to stay at this 24/7.
Anyone who might be able to help is urged to call Manchester Police or the department's crime line. Reporting live in Manchester tonight, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Avoid your question, but we have spoken with as many family members as we can at this point, and we'll continue to do so. But I will go back to the point that she was last seen at a residence in Manchester in the October timeframe of 2019.
Did Manchester Police have any prior contact with the family, or did she have any prior contact with the Department of Youth and Family Services?
That remains part of this investigation.
Can you tell us who reported her missing?
Again, we've spoken with many family members, okay? And let me ask the question. She asked the question, let me answer it as best as I can. The Manchester Police became aware of this week. And I know people are going to say, well, here it is 2021, almost 2022, and nobody's seen this young girl since late of October 2019. So what's happened in the last 2 years? Fair question, all right? That's why I'm here today, because we need assistance, we need help, and we don't have many answers to many questions that we have. All right, and we'll continue to work and speak with the family, ongoing as we speak. I stepped out for a minute to take a phone call, and again, this remains a very active investigation. So there's many questions that need to be answered from 2019 to where we are December 31st, 2021. And we are working to get those answers, and with the hope and desire to bring Harmony home to her family.
Was she enrolled in school here in Manchester that you were aware of?
To my knowledge, she was not. Last time she was enrolled in any type of school, from my understanding, is yet to be confirmed, is down in Massachusetts. But again, she's 7 right now, so 2019, 5 years old, probably right around that kindergarten time frame.
Could she be a resident in Massachusetts then?
Pardon me?
Was she a resident in Massachusetts? What town?
That's what we're trying to, again, we're trying to determine all that.
Which
all right.
town in Massachusetts was she enrolled in school?
That I don't know yet.
Are you aware of the whereabouts of her parents?
Again, we've spoken with family members and we'll continue to do so. I know I keep coming back to that, and that's a fair question, right? Did we speak to mom? Did we speak to dad? Did we speak to this relative? We're speaking to is any and all family members that come to our attention, and ones that we are seeking out as well.
Are you aware of any custody issues involving Harmony?
Not prepared to comment on that.
Are you currently searching for any adults who you can't find?
We're not searching for any adult. We're not searching for anybody right now other than Harmony. All right. And that is kind of why I wanted to do this. All right. To bring the focus to this little girl right here. All right. It's, we're around the holidays, and no time is a good time for a child to go missing, but I'm imploring, I'm asking, even I'll go as far as I'm begging the community. All right. I don't care if you saw this young girl a year ago and you think it's irrelevant. Call us and say, I saw her a year ago. I saw her 18 months ago. I saw her a week ago. Let's lessen that 2-year window and keep shrinking that 2-year window to the present day today. And let's chase down every possible avenue with the hopes of finding Harmony.
Can you see what areas of the city you're searching right now?
I'm searching everywhere. We're using every available resource that is available to us at the Manchester Police Department. And wherever that takes us, that's where we will go. I can assure you of that.
I'm sorry, are there other agencies involved in the search?
At this time, it's just my agency and DCYF. And again, Manchester Police Department has a little more advantage than other police departments in the state, where I have all internal resources that I need. Obviously, if this investigation was to take us down another path, then I will involve any partners that I need to. I'm not hogging this investigation, but we have it well in hand right now. And if it grows and we need assistance, then I'm not too proud to ask for that, and we will.
And you have to have a specific vehicle and some other.
If I had a specific vehicle, I would put it out.
No, I mean, for the Amber Alert, like you said, you can't issue an Amber Alert because
And
you don't have.
I don't have that to give you. That's why I'm here.
What's the minimum you need to do that?
Need at least a vehicle and somebody that she may be with. And I'm being as honest as I can with you. I don't have that right now. That's the reality of this. And I'm not, we're not running or hiding from that. All right. I'm being as open as I can about this. And that's why I'm standing in front of you today. And I can tell you that the moment the Manchester Police Department became aware of this, right, the moment we became aware of this, this became a priority one for the juvenile division, as is any missing child here in the city that is brought to our attention. All right. And people are going to say that, and they're going to ask, well, again, why 2 years? We cannot investigate things if they're not brought to our attention. And when this was brought, we're on it.
Can you say which day that was?
It was early this week.
Did it come from an individual or did DCYF report to you? How did the report come in?
Combination of both.
Can you do that last known contact her when she was seen? If it were, if neighbors had seen her at that point, or is it just family or anyone else?
The last contact in October of 2019, that would have been a result of a call for service involving the Manchester Police Department. And that call for service was handled, and that is the last time that she has been seen here in the city of Manchester. I'm not saying that she has not been seen somewhere else. I'm just focusing on when the last time she was seen in the city of Manchester.
That's the last time you can confirm she's been seen.
Correct.
Like, you're assuming that like the next day she may have been there, but you don't have.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And we had no reason to go back to that address.
How unusual is this circumstance for you guys? Have you ever dealt with a case like this before?
We deal with missing kids. You'll get your missing or your runaway children that will disappear for a day or two because they're, being delinquent or, having issues at home with mom or dad. For us to have a 2-year delay, all right, that is extremely concerning. It's not something that happens on a regular basis, not something that we deal with. I mean, if we had going 2 years without hearing about missing children, that doesn't happen every day. And again, that's why I'm standing in front of you today. I got a 2-year window, or we have a 2-year window that we're trying to shrink as quickly and as humanly possible, as fast as we can.
Can you say if whether or not, since the press release went out a couple of hours ago, you've received any leads?
I have not checked since I come down here. Before coming in here, I went to the 4 to 12 roll call. Again, a message went out department-wide for myself that should the officers on their patrols this evening or working at the front counter or answering calls upstairs get any and all tips that, people are not to be forwarded to a voicemail. They're not to be put on hold. They're to be kept on the line until a detective can get on the phone or that officer or person at the front counter can take a detailed statement and how we can get back in contact with that person. My hope is that we do. I hope that people are calling. And if it's, hey, we think we see her here, then we will go to where that is. And if we think we saw her in another town or another community, then we will contact that police department and have them chase that down for us.
So other than the 2-year window in which she's not been seen, are there any other circumstances that you're concerned about around this girl's life or her family? Or?
That's all part of the investigation. I'm just concerned that we're talking 2 years. It took 2 years for the Manchester Police Department to become aware of this. And if there was a breakdown, that's not for right now. All right, what is for right now is priority one, finding this little girl. And if there was some kind of delay, or I'm not saying there was, but something in the past that caused that significant delay to get brought to the attention of Manchester Police Department, I'll let other people deal with that when it's appropriate, or I will deal with that when appropriate. But right now, we need to find this little girl. All right, I have detectives working on this that all have children of their own. Okay, and we'll continue to work on this. They've committed to me, and I do not doubt their level of commitment, and we're going to stay at this 24/7. Any other questions? Okay, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. So on that same day, a 24-hour tip line was set up. Anyone with any information is asked to call it. There's a reward fund that eventually grows to $144,000. That phone line, excuse me, is later changed. The phone number is 603-932-8997. January 4th of 22, Adam Montgomery, 31, was arrested in Manchester. His arrest warrant was for 1 count of felony second-degree assault arising from the 2019 misconduct against Harmony, age 7, as well as 1 misdemeanor charge of interference with custody and 2 misdemeanor charges of endangering the welfare of a child pertaining to Harmony. Despite an arrest being made, the search for Harmony continues. January 6th of 22, Kayla Montgomery, 31, of Manchester, was also arrested. Her warrant was for 1 count of welfare fraud, Class A felony. The charge alleges that between December 19th and June of 21, Kayla obtained over $1,500 in food stamps by failing to remove Harmony from Kayla's family account with family assistance and continuing to collect benefits for Harmony, despite the fact that she no longer lived with Kayla and Adam. This charge is later dropped and a new felony charge of theft is filed instead. And on January 6, 22, Kevin Montgomery, remember Uncle Kevin, gives an interview with Ashley Banfield, confirming that he was the reason police saw Harmony in October, and says that, quote unquote, if DCYF would have listened in the first place, we wouldn't be here today. They failed my niece. And he's not wrong. He was absolutely right. Let's watch that interview that Kevin did with Ashley Banfield.
Back then. And Kevin Montgomery joins me live now. Kevin, thank you so much for being with me tonight. First, right out of the gate, have you had any updates at all from police or family members on Harmony's whereabouts?
None.
Nothing at all? No one sharing
No.
any information with you?
Nope.
So
No.
tell me, what made you initially call the police on your nephew, on Adam? What was it that got you so worried?
So I won't get into details, but there was just things that raised an alarm with me. And I called the authorities. And I'll just be clear, I love the police. They're doing everything they can. First and foremost, DSS, or Family and Children's Services, failed my niece here. And that's why we're here today. If they listened in the first place, this wouldn't be happening. And my niece is out there. She has family that love her, aunts and uncles and grandmothers and great-grandmothers and grandfathers. And yeah, we just want her home. And I don't like the public. If you can't help the situation, please don't distract from what the people that are trying to help are doing. The words, the viciousness, everybody wants to be in this story but me. I want to be as far away from this story as I possibly can. But I can't. I have to be my niece's voice. And I'll stay as relentless as long as my body will take, as much as it will take. I know there's a lot of support out there, but there's a lot of aggressiveness. And just back off.
Kevin, can I ask you if you've had a chance to talk with Adam, who is, again, he's your nephew, and Harmony is your grandniece, but have you had a chance to talk with Adam since he's been arrested, or even within the days around his arrest?
I haven't talked to him in years.
Tell me about that.
I kind of want to keep the focus on Harmony here, please. I don't want to. That's my concern. The justice system, whatever happens, all that will take its course. I'm here to try to raise awareness, money with my GoFundMe page, and I just want to stick to focus on Harmony. I don't want this story to die. I don't want it to fizzle out. I want to talk about finding Harmony. Anyone out there that has seen Harmony, it doesn't matter if it was 6 months ago, 6 weeks ago, anything will help. Any information, any. Just imagine if it was your daughter, your niece, your granddaughter. People know. Someone knows. Someone knows something. Someone saw something.
So, Kevin, let me ask you, because there is so little information and because Harmony has been missing for so long, the only thing anyone has to go on is what was happening right up until the time that Harmony disappeared. And so that's why some of these questions are, as uncomfortable as they are, they're necessary. In the police affidavit, you were very informative about some of the things that had happened to little Harmony before she went missing. And it was just heartbreaking to read the details that Harmony had been, I think one of the quotes is, bashed around the house by Adam, that she'd been forced to clean a toilet with a toothbrush, and that she'd been forced to stand in the corner for hours, to the point where she wet herself. And then there are big redactions, big black marks all through some of the things that you told the police. Can you fill in what those blanks are, Kevin? What were the other things that you said that have been blacked out?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't know what's blackout. I never seen those reports. I know what I said in the reports, and I stand that I said what I said. And I don't want to mess up this investigation by giving out too much information. The police are working their tails off. I know they are. I talk to them often. And yeah, I talk to them often about any way I can help. Or any details I can remember, we try to go over. And it's just heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking.
Kevin, can I ask, in some of the history that we've been reading through and trying to piece together this mystery, you called the police in July of 2019 because you'd seen Harmony with a black eye. And then it's my understanding, was it you that called the police in October, just a couple months later? And if that was you, what was the circumstance that led to that call?
Correct. So that call it was my mother's house, and we wanted to go there and get some things that my mother wanted to retrieve and to check on the kids. And when we got there, we had to get a police escort when we got there to go in and get some of the things.
Can you tell me why and what it was that was so concerning that you would need a police escort to enter the home?
There was just conflict there. We had a falling out for whatever transpired previous to that. And so just the safest way for no issues was to just get someone there that can mediate the situation.
So in that visit with the police escort, did you see Harmony and did you see what condition she was in?
I did. She looked timid, but that's all I could say on that. I only got a brief look at her.
And was that the last time any other family member that you know of saw her?
At least my immediate family. I'm not sure about his other side of the family. I'm not sure. My immediate family, on my side of the family, yes.
Did Harmony say anything to you on that last visit when you last saw her 2 years ago that might have been an indication that things were really bad in that home?
No, she didn't say nothing.
Was she allowed to talk to you?
I'm not sure. I didn't see anything to be said for her not to talk to me. I'm not sure.
And Kevin, what was the condition of the home? What did it look like when you went in there? This is the home where, you know, this little child was last living at 5 years old.
It just, it wasn't well at all. It just wasn't well.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, I would rather not comment.
I know this is difficult for you. I know these questions are tough. I think everyone who's watching just wants to get as much information as possible to piece together this mystery and hopefully lead to finding your niece and solving this awful mystery. There are more children, 3 other children by Kayla and Adam. Those would be half siblings of Harmony. Do you know where they are staying tonight? Because both Adam and Kayla are now in jail. To our knowledge, are not able to make bond. Adam obviously facing these related charges, not to her being missing, but to child abuse and neglect. And Kayla now facing charges for fraud, for still collecting the food stamps for the last 2 years, even though Harmony's been nowhere to be seen. Where are their 3 other children tonight?
So from what I believe, only from a news interview from the mother, Kayla's mother has them.
Kayla's mother. So is that a safe environment? Do you know anything about her?
No, I don't believe I don't ever remember meeting her mother, but it could have been once, but I'm not sure.
Did you have any concerns about Kayla? I know you had your concerns about Adam. You called the police, but did you have any concerns about Kayla?
Kayla and what? Did I have any concerns about Kayla with what?
And how she treated Harmony and what Harmony's circumstance was living with her?
I just don't want to.
I know it's difficult, but it's important information.
It is.
You know, when people are trying to figure out where to look, where to think, what clues might have been going on before she disappeared.
I understand that, but that's my purpose. That's my purpose, is to raise awareness on how to find her, who might have seen her, and that question has nothing to do with where Harmony may or may not be today.
Can I ask you this difficult question, Kevin? And I think it's imperative because the way you're speaking, it sounds like you believe that Harmony is still alive. I think everybody wants to know if, you know, people who knew Adam or people who know Adam, and certainly that's your nephew, if you think he may have killed her.
I would not answer that. I'm holding out hope that we find and bring Harmony home safe.
What's in your gut?
My gut tells me there's always hope until you tell me there's no hope left to have.
I know this has been a tough night for you, all things considered, the weather as well. But Kevin Montgomery, thank you so much. I know you're raising money for the reward money for your GoFundMe. Let's hope that we can find your little grandniece. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
I remember when Adam's uncle gave that interview, many people, and sadly myself included, passed a lot of judgment on him. Hindsight, he really did try. He truly did try for her. He did everything that he, should have done. But I remember that interview just like it was yesterday, and it's really sad to rewatch, I think. So that same day, January 6th of 2022, 7 News speaks with Kayla's mother, Christina Lubin, who said despite their strained relationship with her daughter, she believes Kayla when she says she truly thought Harmony had been living with her biological mom. She says that she only met Harmony once, and that was around Thanksgiving of 2019. She then gave another interview to press saying that Adam, Kayla, and the 3 kids, minus Harmony, visited her house on the west side of Manchester at the end of December during the holidays, and that they were there, quote unquote, briefly. She said she expected Harmony to be there, but Kayla said she was with her mother. Christina says that the family has been living in a car on the streets at the time. Christina says her daughter is a known liar, but she believes her. It happened in a week period, anytime after Thanksgiving to before December 6th. I think something happened at that time. My daughter has a good heart, but I don't know what her part is in this. Can you imagine? I cannot imagine at all. So we do have one little clip of an interview that her mom, Christina, did give. So let's play that here real.
I'm just asking you, just for the children's sake, I do pray for Harmony, and I did have something come to me today for the police that I thought may help, which I did tell the police I'm not going to give that out yet because I don't want to hinder it in any way. Just please.
When did you see Harmony?
It was, I knew it was in the wintertime. I wasn't exactly sure when. And when I spoke with my daughter, she was telling me it was a day after Thanksgiving. Okay.
That last year in 2020 or 2021?
No, that was in 2019.
And did you ever ask your daughter where she was after that? That you never saw her again?
Well, she told me that because they came here the end of December during the holidays, and they were here briefly. I asked her, I'm like, well, I expected Harmony to do them, and they said no. And I know they've been kind of living on the streets and in a car kind of thing. And well, she didn't say no. She said she's with her mother, and I didn't question it because I didn't know until all the news, the history of the family. And Adam, for the first couple of years, was some sweet guy, and he's not. He is pure evil. He is pure evil. So I hope, I really, really hope the information that came to me today that can help in the search for Harmony. And that's really where my prayers are now, because my grandchildren will be with me, so I'm not going to be worried about them. And just please respect the privacy.
Yeah.
This is so scary for
do you think
children.
Do you think Harmony's still alive?
I hope and pray she's still alive, but it's been 2 years, so I don't know.
You got to be heartbroken over this.
I'm distraught. My body's been shaking every couple hours because I can't get away from it. You know what I mean? I can't not check the news. I want to know what's going on, and I have spoken to police several times.
Do you think your daughter had any involvement in her disappearance?
Kayla told me that, just as in her affidavit, and I drilled my daughter. Believe me, I asked. With her history, yeah, she used to be a liar, but I know how to get the truth out of my daughter. The youngest daughter, her daughter wasn't born yet, and Harmony was with her. We dropped her off at work, and he said to her, "I am bringing Harmony to her mother." And then he came back later. I don't know how many hours. I don't know that. She was working at a Dunkin' Donuts. I've given all that information to the police, but Kayla said, "Where is he?" She didn't say where she is, but I don't know. I'm so confused right now.
And when do you think that happened?
In my mind, from what I've tried to gather, and all the media has been great with trying to get all the information out there, and the social media I thought has been great too. But I think it happened like in a week period, and I think it happened from December 6th till prior to December 6th. So December 6th, anytime after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th. So it's like, there's the 30th of the month, so it's like 6 to 7 days. So I think something happened in that week, and I don't know what day. I asked the police if they checked my daughter's records, because my children are brought up where they have to tell the truth and they have to fess up. And my daughter has broken every time for me in the past. And I said to her, and I said to her, and I said to her, I said, are you sure? I said, what couple doesn't communicate about this and so forth? And I know those are the questions out there. My daughter does have a good heart, but I don't know what her heart was on this, but I do believe her. She's staying very, very consistent in what she's saying. And I can tell by her, I'm her mom, I can tell.
So that whole drop off, you're saying that's between Thanksgiving, December 6th?
Day after Thanksgiving and before December 6th.
2019.
Yes.
And what's the significance of December 6th that makes that date stick in your head?
That date was reminded to me by my daughter because they were homeless and they needed a place to come. And I said, well, I don't really have a room, my landlord. So they were just here during the holiday, during that time frame.
You said Adam is the devil. Why did you say that?
He can sweet talk and swindle like he did with us for the 2 years. And then everything he points the finger at everybody else and talks up quite the storm. And it's a lot of, he talks like jail talk. That's all I can
What
say.
about abuse? The allegation yesterday was he was abusive towards Harmony.
I don't know about that because I didn't have much when
All right. So that was Kayla's mother giving one of her interviews. She did give a couple. Now we're at January 8th of 2022. Manchester Police Department and other agencies were at the 77 Guilford Street for a second time, continuing their efforts to find Harmony. And that's what this picture is of here. It's believed that they were using ground penetrating radar equipment to detect and map out ground areas. Mapping allows them to determine concrete condition, structural integrity, slab thickness, and detect voids within or beneath concrete slabs. A short time later, Manchester PD removed a large brown paper bag. A sergeant put the bag in her vehicle, and neighbors were told that they will be there all weekend, and the police department closed off the street to anyone that doesn't live there. And then on January 8th, 2022, there was a vigil for Harmony, and it was held at Bass Island in Manchester. Now, Crystal Sorey, the bio mother, spoke after, and she said, we're going to be on this every single day. Since he, Adam, got custody of her, I have been fighting against the department to get her. I never gave up. I've tried to get better for my kids. They need me, and I'm not going to give up. And we have a little clip of that vigil right here.
Manchester tonight, everyone coming together, vowing to bring Harmony home.
Crystal Sorey holds hands with her family as they gather for a vigil and pray for the safe return of her daughter, Harmony Montgomery. The 7-year-old girl has not been seen since October of 2019. Crystal last saw Harmony in April of that year.
Last time I saw her was Easter. I had a FaceTime with her. I showed her basket. I said, next time I see you, you're going to have this basket I got you.
But Crystal says after that call, Harmony's father and legal custodian, Adam Montgomery, cut all ties with her and her family.
Everyone, family, me, like even my sister reached out, others. nothing.
Worried about her daughter, Crystal says for months she called DCYF, law enforcement, anyone who could help her track down Harmony.
Anybody I could, like, I reached out to all my family, like, listen, we need to come forward, something's happening.
But it wasn't until 2 years later, New Year's Eve 2021, when Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony after officials say they became aware of her disappearance just days earlier. Since then, police have set up a hotline, established a $94,000 reward for information, and conducted numerous searches for Harmony. On Saturday, investigators were at her last known address, a home on Guilford Street. And as they continue to follow leads, Crystal says she has made it her mission to bring Harmony home.
Never giving up.
No, never. We're coming. We're going to bring her home.
None of us.
We're never going to stop.
And now, if you have any information on the whereabouts of Harmony Montgomery, you can contact the Manchester Police Department at 603-203-6060. Reporting in Manchester, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
All right. So that was a vigil that was held. Then on March 13th of 23, Kelsey Small, the woman that Adam was dating before his arrest, was found deceased in a Manchester motel. She did not face charges in connection with the case, and her death is not considered suspicious. April 4th, 2022, Adam Montgomery is arrested on new charges of theft by unauthorized taking for allegedly stealing a rifle and shotgun, 2 charges of receiving stolen property for allegedly receiving or retaining the rifle and the shotgun, 2 charges of felon in possession for allegedly possessing the rifle and the shotgun after having been convicted of 1 or more qualifying felonies, and 2 charges of armed career criminal for allegedly possessing the rifle and the shotgun after having been convicted of 3 or more qualifying felonies. Investigators say the alleged thefts occurred between September 29th and October 3rd, 2019 in Manchester. Then on April 12th of 22, Kayla Montgomery, 31, is charged with 2 counts of receiving stolen property in connection with the alleged theft of firearms. Investigators again say there is no evidence that the charges are related to Harmony's disappearance. On May 4, 2022, a report from the Massachusetts Office of the Child Advocate is released. The report outlines several mistakes, several is an understatement, that the Massachusetts agencies allegedly made regarding the girl's care before she lived in New Hampshire and eventually disappeared. May 7th, 22, Kayla Montgomery is released from jail, where she was held for 4 months. She was ordered to check in with Manchester police daily and continue with substance abuse treatment. She is also ordered to not have any contact with Adam Montgomery or to leave New Hampshire. And on June 3rd of 22, Kayla Montgomery is arrested on perjury charges. She is accused of lying during grand jury testimony about when and where she was at work during the window of time that Harmony Montgomery was last seen and accounted for. She was released from jail 3 days later. Now, here again, we see where they are filing charges because they know that there's something there, and it happens a lot in these kind of cases. They file those charges that will put them in jail, keep them in jail, make them talk, make them want to do plea deals. And so it appears this was probably the case. June 14th through the 15th, 22, officials searched Adam Montgomery and Kayla Montgomery's former apartment, hauling a refrigerator out. Investigators were assisted by a sewer plumbing team. Sources told News 9 that new, credible information from a person close to the investigation led to the search of the apartment. Now, just real quick, I want to share this, and this is the police body cam, and this was the first interactions between police officers in Manchester and Adam Montgomery, and this is their body camera footage.
What's your name, my man? Wow. Adam.
This police body cam video obtained by News 9 Investigates was taken on December 31st, 2021, the day Manchester police announced a missing persons investigation for Harmony Montgomery.
On top of your head. What's going on?
This was the first interaction between Adam Montgomery and Manchester police after officers located him sleeping in a car in Manchester's Wolf Park. In the video, officers ask Montgomery about his daughter's whereabouts.
We just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. You're not in any trouble right now that I know of. Okay. We have no warrants. Okay. So, where's your daughter so we can check on her and make sure that she's okay?
Right now, I have nothing to say to you guys.
But that's not what I'm just asking. Okay, where she is.
I have nothing to say.
The interaction lasts about 45 minutes before Montgomery is sent on his way. Police track Montgomery down again later that day, serving him with a court order to produce Harmony.
Some detectives want to speak with you. You're just being detained at this point.
5 days later, Montgomery is arrested on charges including second-degree assault for allegedly abusing Harmony. During an interview with detectives, Montgomery is asked several times about his daughter.
This isn't going to go anywhere. Like, this isn't going to stop. So,
no, I know it's not.
So, either get on the bus now or get run over.
Well, I got nothing else to say.
And so Montgomery's lawyers argue that he repeatedly told police he did not want to speak with them, but detectives continued to question him, essentially violating his rights. Prosecutors have said that any statements Montgomery gave were done so voluntarily. A judge, by the way, has not decided if these recordings will be used in court.
All right, so that was the body cam footage that had happened a little bit back. Then we're at August 11th of 22, and the Attorney General says investigators now believe that Harmony was killed. And that's the first time we're hearing that that's what they thought. They thought that she was killed in early December of 2019. And he said the investigation is now a homicide investigation. And I can remember this too, just as clear as it was yesterday when it came out. Let's watch this press conference with the New Hampshire Attorney General announcing that it's a homicide investigation.
Good afternoon. I'm New Hampshire Attorney General John Formella, and I'm joined here today by Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg and the team from the Manchester Police Department and members of my office. We're here today to provide a further update regarding the ongoing investigation into the 2019 murder of Harmony Montgomery. As you'll recall, back in January, we announced that 5-year-old Harmony likely disappeared sometime between November 28th and December 10th of 2019. In August of this year, after almost 8 months of investigative work undertaken by the Manchester Police Department, the Attorney General's Office, the U.S. Marshals Service, the FBI, and other law enforcement partners, we announced that we had concluded that 5-year-old Harmony was murdered in Manchester in early December of 2019. This conclusion was based on multiple sources of investigative information, including biological evidence. Since August, the Manchester Police Department, the Attorney General's Office, and our other law enforcement partners have continued to investigate this case in an effort to seek answers and justice for Harmony. Today, we are announcing another major step in this investigation. Earlier this morning, Adam Montgomery was arrested for the murder of Harmony Montgomery in 2019 and other related charges. Specifically, Mr. Montgomery has been charged with the following 4 crimes. Second-degree murder for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life, by repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7, 2019. Falsifying physical evidence for purposely altering, destroying, concealing, or removing the body of Harmony Montgomery with a purpose to impair its verity or availability in an official proceeding or investigation in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. Abuse of corpse for purposely and unlawfully removing, concealing, or destroying the corpse of Harmony Montgomery or any part thereof in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and March 4th, 2020. And tampering with witnesses or informants for purposely attempting to induce or otherwise cause Kayla Montgomery to testify or inform falsely in Manchester between approximately December 7th, 2019 and January 4th, 2022. Mr. Montgomery is expected to be arraigned on these charges in Hillsborough County Superior Court, Northern District in Manchester tomorrow, October 25th, 2022. While today's arrest is a major step in this investigation, there is much work to come. The charges and allegations against Adam Montgomery are merely accusations, and he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That said, today I do want to again express my deepest sympathies to Harmony's family, friends, and loved ones. We understand that today's news, while significant for purposes of this investigation, is yet another difficult moment for those who loved Harmony and those who have followed this case. Our hearts go out especially to Harmony's family. My office will continue to provide whatever assistance we can through our Office of Victim Witness Assistance as they deal with these difficult moments. In a moment, I'm going to turn it over to Manchester Police Chief Alan Aldenberg, but once again, before I do, I want to extend my sincere thanks to the chief and the entire team at the Manchester Police Department for the time and dedication and professionalism that they've put into this case and their relentless pursuit for justice on behalf of Harmony and those who knew and loved her. Chief.
Thank you, sir. All right, good afternoon. I'm Alan Aldenberg, the Chief of Police for the Manchester Police Department. This morning at approximately 10:30 a.m., Adam Montgomery was transported to the Manchester Police Department. He was booked in on the charges of second-degree murder, falsifying physical evidence, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with a witness. The booking process was completed without incident, and he was then transported back to the Hillsborough County House of Correction. Although we are all pleased that we were able to bring forth these charges, they are of no solace to myself, the detectives behind me, who have worked tirelessly on this investigation, and more importantly, they bring no solace to the loved ones of Harmony Montgomery and her family and friends. Again, I want to take a moment to publicly thank the detectives and the New Hampshire Attorney General's office for their unwavering commitment and devotion to this investigation. Specifically behind me, in no particular order, Captain Sean Layton, Captain Matt LaRochelle, Detective Jack Dunleavy, Detective Scott Riley, Detective Max Rayhill, Deputy U.S. Marshal Billy Tufts, a couple more in the back of the room, Lieutenant Georgioulis, Detective Davenport, and Detective Coswick as well. Many, many people have sought justice for Harmony, and they are unmatched in their tenacity and their professionalism. Every single one of you has been the voice of Harmony and seeking justice for her. Said I wasn't going to do it. has been your single motivation and number one priority for the past 10 months. I also want to thank your families who've also had to endure the long hours, missed family events, and all the sadness that this investigation has brought. As I have before, I want to personally acknowledge Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill and Benegatti. These two gentlemen are steady, professional, compassionate, and the ultimate pursuers of justice for Harmony. I'm certain that the charges that we have brought forward today will garner additional discussion, speculation, and undoubtedly will elicit a wide range of emotions from the public. I ask that in the memory of Harmony, that we all make every effort to do something nice for a child today. I know of no other way. I know of no other way to respect and honor this innocent and defenseless child than to extend an act of kindness to another child in her memory. Just take a few moments out of your day to say something nice to a child. Give him or her a hug, some special words of encouragement. Give them an extra hug, or just simply tell them that you love them and that you'll always protect them. I want to emphasize that our work is not finished and that the gentleman with me today will not stop until this case is brought the appropriate resolution. As always, I encourage members of the public to continue to use the dedicated tip line should they have any information at all that would assist us in the investigation. Again, that dedicated tip line is 603-203-6060. I'll say it again. That number is 603-203-6060, and that phone line is manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, thank you all for being here today. I will now hand it back to the Attorney General for some closing comments. General.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you again to you and your team for all of the work that you put into this case and for the work yet to come. We have a lot of work ahead, but we will continue our work to seek justice for Harmony and all those who loved her. Before I close, I do want to acknowledge the work of our team at the Attorney General's office, especially Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill, who's been on this case from the beginning, and Senior Assistant Attorney General and Homicide Unit Chief Benegatti. Both have worked closely and tirelessly with Chief Aldenberg and the Manchester Police Department in this investigation. And again, there is much more work to come. As to any further specifics or questions about the nature of evidence in this case, due to the fact that we now have pending charges against Mr. Montgomery, we're unable to make further comments at this time. Additional information will be made available through court filings and in court proceedings as the case moves forward. Thank you for your time.
Whew, that was hard watching again. It was really hard. Not chief of police. I mean, once he was like made aware of what was going on, you can see from his very first press conference, he had a really hard time not getting choked up. I think he genuinely, truly cared about this case, and it's obvious because Harmony is getting finally February 7th of 24. She's finally getting some justice. So that was August 11th of 22. On September 9th of 22, Kayla Montgomery was arrested on a bench warrant after she failed to show up for a hearing. Her bail was revoked on September 13th. October 4th, 2022. This is about the body cam footage we just saw earlier. And those were the first interactions between Manchester Police Department and Adam Montgomery. October 20th of 22. Some of the evidence that prosecutors hope to introduce in Adam Montgomery's firearms trial was ruled that it could not be admitted. October 24th of 22, that is when the Attorney General announced that Adam had been arrested and charged with second-degree murder in the death of Harmony. Court documents showed that Kayla Montgomery had told investigators details about the killing of Harmony in June. November 18th of 22, Kayla Montgomery pleads guilty to 2 felony counts of perjury. The charges Kayla Montgomery took responsibility for are not related to the disappearance or death of her stepdaughter Harmony under the plea agreement. Kayla Montgomery has agreed to fully cooperate in future state proceedings, which could include testifying in Adam Montgomery's murder trial. And Kayla is definitely, I could say a lot of things about her, but whatever. She took a plea deal, whatever it took, but she ratted him out. And if it weren't for her, I don't know that we would actually be here today. I don't know. Do you guys? I don't think we would be.
Kayla Montgomery walked into court in Prison Orange, her hands shackled, to strike a deal to testify against estranged husband Adam Montgomery. He's accused of killing his 5-year-old daughter Harmony. Kayla had been interviewed by Manchester police back in December of 2021, just days after the investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery began. She was subpoenaed to testify before a grand jury in May to repeat what she'd said about seeing Harmony for the last time in November of 2019.
While under oath, the defendant testified initially that a day or two after Thanksgiving of 2019, Adam dropped her, the defendant, off at work, and Harmony and the other 2 children were in the car. The defendant testified that at that time, Adam said he was bringing Harmony to Harmony's mother.
Caught in 2 lies, not about her estranged husband or Harmony, but about the time and place she said she was working.
Kayla Montgomery testified falsely regarding the time of the prior work shift. How do you plead to that? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. The 2 felonies carry a sentence of 3.5 to 7 years each. She'll be eligible for parole in a year and a half.
Obviously, she would have liked to not to have to do any jail time. But she recognized the situation she was in. She recognized the state's perspective, and she struck what she thought was a fair deal for herself.
So we are now at November 22nd of 2022, and it's decided at a hearing that Adam Montgomery's separate trials regarding a stolen weapons case and his daughter's killing will take place in 2023. On January 26th of 2023, Adam Montgomery is indicted by a grand jury on a charge of second-degree murder in the killing of his daughter, Harmony.
5-year-old Harmony Montgomery.
Obviously, I knew it was going to happen, but when it does, it's a totally different feeling than you would expect.
A grand jury finding there is enough evidence to charge Adam Montgomery, the father of Harmony Montgomery, with second-degree murder in connection with his daughter's death.
It's relief. It's, anger that he still hasn't said where she is.
Montgomery was arrested on the murder charges back in October, as well as on charges of falsifying physical evidence and witness tampering.
She's out there somewhere alone.
Harmony's mother, Crystal, saying she is determined to get justice for her daughter.
Even if it's the bare minimum of what I get, I just want her back. I just want her back home.
Legal experts say this is simply the next step in the process, even with Harmony still missing.
It still is possible to go forward with the prosecution without having a body,
as they likely have evidence to prove that Montgomery committed the crime.
I would say that they most likely have an eyewitness to what occurred in order to have that specificity in the indictment.
And even as the months pass, Crystal says she will never give up looking for her daughter.
She belongs home.
And Harmony's body has yet to be found, so if you have any information, you're asked to contact Manchester Police. Live in the newsroom, Ariel, Metropolis, WMUR News 9.
Ariel.
All right. So Adam was indicted on January 26, 2023. Then April 6th of 2023, in a report, the Massachusetts Office of the Child Advocate expresses concerns officials aren't doing enough to consider what's in the best interest of the child during custody cases after the Harmony Montgomery case led to calls for change. If nothing else, this sweet little baby girl, she made a big difference. If nothing else, that laws were changed and people started to pay more attention, I think. April 7th of 2023, Manchester Police, Massachusetts State Police, and other law enforcement agencies searched the wetlands along Route 107 in Revere. The New Hampshire Attorney General's office confirms the search is in connection with the Harmony Montgomery case. And let's watch a real quick clip.
Friday afternoon, and we still really don't have very much information as to what officers were looking for here. In the woods, the water, and the mud, police investigators fanning out across the wetlands of Route 107 in Revere, Massachusetts.
We wouldn't be searching an area if we didn't have a reason to search it.
Officers spending all day Friday combing through the grass and marsh as a part of the investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. 5-year-old Harmony has been missing since 2019. Her father, Adam Montgomery, now charged with her murder.
We're not releasing any information beyond that at this time, given the ongoing investigation and the ongoing criminal case.
It's not exactly clear what officers were looking for in the area, but investigators say the search was triggered by some sort of information or tip that was shared with them. Neighbors say they hope that something comes out of this search.
Seemed like a really odd sight to me, to like a normal pedestrian going up and down there. So I really, want to see what's going on because I never really got the full story.
And it's tragic. It's awful. That poor little girl, I just want her to be found, just to give peace of mind to the family more than anything.
And even years after her disappearance, investigators are still urging the public to come forward if they know anything about where little Harmony might be.
So then on June 1st of 23, testimony began in Adam Montgomery's weapons trial. He was facing 6 charges, 2 counts each of being an armed career criminal, receiving stolen property, and theft by unauthorized taking. June 5th, 2023, Kayla Montgomery testified at Adam's weapons trial. She tells jurors that her husband told her he had stolen the guns. The defense presses her, saying she has changed her story over time. On June 8th of 23, Adam Montgomery is found guilty on all counts in his weapons trial. The most serious charges being an armed career criminal, carrying minimum sentences of 10 years in prison. June 20th of 23, an affidavit is released detailing the investigation of Harmony Montgomery's death. It shows that police believe Adam Montgomery punched her several times in the face on December 7th, 2019, killing her. It goes on to describe ways in which Adam Montgomery allegedly hid her body. On August 7th of 2023, Adam Montgomery is sentenced to decades in prison in his weapons trial case. Montgomery makes a statement before he's sentenced, urging the judge not to consider the charges he's facing in Harmony's death. "Quote unquote, I did not kill my daughter Harmony, and I look forward to my upcoming trial to refute those offensive claims," he said. He also talks about his struggles with addiction. Quote, "I could have had a meaningful life, and I blew that opportunity through drugs. But I love my daughter unconditionally, and I did not kill her," end quote. Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey, is in the courtroom during the sentencing and says she didn't believe a word Adam was saying. She said he wants people to feel sympathy for him. He's trying to be a victim. And I'll give Adam that. He very well could have had a very meaningful life, him and Kayla both. But he did blow it with drugs. I don't think he loved his daughter unconditionally, not one bit, but he blew all of it with the drugs. And we have a real quick statement that Adam made during that trial.
Adam would like to address you.
So I understand that I was found guilty by a jury, and I'm not here to dispute that at all. The only consideration that I ask of you this morning is for you not to consider anything as it relates to the case regarding my daughter Harmony. I did not kill my daughter Harmony, and I look forward to my upcoming trial to refute those offensive claims. Probably won't believe me when I tell you that I didn't wake up one morning and choose to become an addict. I don't want to be an addict. And I will spend my time in prison utilizing it to the best of my ability to change things about myself. I could have had a meaningful life, and I blew that opportunity through drugs. But I loved my daughter unconditionally, and I did not kill her. So please don't consider anything that relates to those charges. Only consider the facts to this case.
So February 6, 24, the jury selection began in the state of New Hampshire versus Adam Montgomery. He is also given the choice to have his trial in leg shackles rather than the typical leg brace. And when asked if he's aware that it'll be visible to the jury, he says he does. So he wanted his shackles visible to the jury, basically. And then finally, we're at today, February 7th, 2024. Jury selection was completed, and in a really kind of strange twist of events, Adam did not, he chose not to be present for the opening statements, which everybody found a little strange. So the judge kind of switched up things in the courtroom, and I think we were all kind of left wondering what the heck's going on. And she said that the defense and the prosecution were going to make very brief opening kind of statements, which they really weren't. But anyway, what wound up happening is that the jury took a field trip to the many different locations in Manchester, and Adam makes behind the door plea deal. He pled guilty of 2 of his 5 counts. Those 2 counts that he did plead guilty to were falsifying evidence and abuse of a corpse. So let's take a listen to this. This was kind of out of nowhere.
Admit to each and every element of the offense of falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse. Is that okay? And did you speak with your lawyers in detail about that?
Yes, I did.
And have you reviewed the opening statement in which they will tell that to the jurors?
Yes, I did.
And do you wish for them to acknowledge your guilt on both of those charges, falsifying physical evidence and abuse of corpse?
Yes.
And do you understand that it would be the state's obligation to prove each and every element of those offenses beyond a reasonable doubt before the jury could find you guilty? Do you understand that?
Yes.
and that by agreeing to allow them to acknowledge this in opening statements, the jurors can find you guilty of those two offenses, relying on that information. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and that is what you wish to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have any further question about that?
No, I do not.
All right. Anything further that the state requests?
As further the state request, we assume that the court would take that into account and make a decision whether or not he's making a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of essentially proofing his facts and proceeding this way, which the court will do.
Okay. So anything you want to add, Attorney Smith?
Not on that issue.
Okay. So, Mr. Montgomery, having heard from you that you've discussed this with your lawyers, that you've reviewed the opening statements, the draft of the opening statement, that you acknowledge that you understand that the burden of proof is on the state to prove each of those offenses beyond a reasonable doubt, and that is understanding that it is your desire for them to proceed with that strategy. The court does find that this is a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your rights, and will allow them to proceed on that basis. Okay?
Oh, yep.
Okay. So while I have you, today you did refuse transport, so I want to talk to you about tomorrow. As we discussed with you this morning, you can't change your mind midway through the day, but you can inform the court if you wish to come tomorrow. And what I would like to do, and each day thereafter. So you can come and we will send a transport for you. That is your absolute right. But as I explained to you this morning, it's also your right to waive your presence and for us to proceed in your absence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to instruct the sheriff's office and the Department of Corrections that someone will ask you tomorrow morning, do you wish to come to court today? We will have transport available to you if you want to come, but I am not inclined to send a car up there to pick you up only to have you refuse. So do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any concern about that procedure?
No, I do not.
Okay. So it is our intention to have someone ask you tomorrow morning whether or not you wish to come. And whenever they come to ask you that question, they're going to need an answer from you so that we have sufficient time to make sure that we get you down here in order for us to start the trial in a timely manner. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I believe your counsel will be speaking to you later, at some point later today?
Not today.
Oh, not
We
today.
can't.
Okay.
24-hour notice.
Okay. So that's going to be the procedure for tomorrow morning and each day thereafter of this trial, unless and until the court makes a different order on that. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further from the state while Mr. Montgomery is present?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Montgomery, you're free to go now. I appreciate that that you are speaking with us when we need to speak with you, because we are keeping the jurors waiting when we do this.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You're all set.
And so that's where we are today on February 7th, 2024. Tomorrow morning, they will start the opening arguments. I plan on being live for every single day of this trial. So if you've not yet subscribed or you haven't hit that little bell thingy majiggeroo, please do so that you get that alert. And with that said, thank you so much, you guys, for being here, for watching this, for wanting justice for sweet little Harmony. I think we're about to get that justice for her. And I thank every single one of you for being here. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great night. Bye-bye.